In this module, we are going to talk about speed typing or fast typing. So one of the best ways to increase your productivity as a writer is, of course, to increase your writing speed. So it really depends on what kind of a tool you are going to use. For example, I prefer using dictation because it's easier on my wrists and it's also very fast. So that's why I'm using a software like Nuance Dragon or Google Docs dictation or speech notes, right? Because then I can just speak what's on my mind and it's going to be translated into text very rapidly. But you can't always rely on dictation. And also you might prefer to just type, right? So then the choice of your keyboard and the position in which you work is going to play a big role. So you have to make sure that you sit up straight and that your hands are at a 90-degree angle and that basically you don't really put your wrists on your keyboard unless you have like a really nice wrist rest, but rather you just keep your fingers just above the keyboard and you just lightly touch them. So in this way, the choice of your keyboard is going to play a huge role as well. You can basically pick any keyboard that you want as long as it's very comfortable for you. So each person has different needs when it comes to ergonomics, right? So you are going to be typing for many hours each day. That's why I think it's also a great idea to be alternating between typing and dictation so that you allow your wrists to rest a little bit, because we are all about longevity and just not causing pain. And I have to tell you that repetitive strain injury, carpal tunnel syndrome, pinched nerve in your neck, or other things might happen if you just decide that you are going to just plow through it and just work in uncomfortable positions and just type all the time. And I can tell you that it will work for a while. But if you want to remain pain-free and productive and happy for a very long period of time throughout your whole career, then you really have to start thinking about ergonomics right now. This is really important because you might be just rolling for 1 or 2 or 3 years as a freelance writer and furiously type on your keyboard, but then something will happen. Maybe there will be an issue with your spine, maybe because of all of the clicking and uncomfortable positions, you will develop a carpal tunnel syndrome, and then the whole experience is not going to be so pleasant anymore. Believe me, I've been there. So that's why I urge you to really think about the ergonomics of your workspace. And in this module, I think it's important to also just learn a few things about speed typing, because as I said at the beginning, your income is based on how many words basically can you successfully type per minute. That's basically words per minute stat is what we are looking at here. And I think it's great if it's at least 60 for you. Some people get as high as 160 words per minute. If I'm being honest, then dictation is certainly faster even than that, But to use dictation, you need a quiet space and you need the right microphone, and things have to be just right most of the time. But with typing, you can be at a cafe, you can just sit on a bench in your park, you can hang out with friends, and you can still be working, which is why it's also really great to have this speed typing ability developed to a high level. So the easiest way to do it is to not really buy an expensive speed typing program, unless that's your thing and you really want to develop it to a high level. But nowadays, you can find great many websites online that have these speed typing exercises for free, and you don't even need to log in or even set up an account. You just basically type something like speed typing test online or something like that, and you'll receive at least a few great results. So let's take a look at what we have here. So one of these websites is called Fast Fingers. Then there is Speed Typing Online, typingtest.com, and keyboard.com, right? So all of them are basically used for the same purpose of you developing a higher words per minute count. So let me just show you how it works, basically. So you would just go to, let's say, 10 fast fingers. I think that's one of the most popular ones. You can even choose the language. You have different options here. You can just practice with your own text. You can challenge yourself. You can see how other people are typing, and so on and so forth. So then you just click on Start Typing Test. And you can choose from different typing tests, but the one they give you as a default, I think is pretty good. So then you are already here. You just have 1 minute, and then let's just go for it. Oof, okay. So I got 3 errors. 57 correct words, accuracy pretty high, and 61 words per minute, right? So it's not the fastest, but as I said, I'm using mostly dictation when I write, so that's why this regular words per minute count is not so important to me. As you can see, some people have just really impressive stats. Here, for example, let's go to top ranking. You can see that some people can go as high as 174. So then you basically type at the speed of thought, which is pretty great. So it's definitely a skill that is worth developing. And you have also something like speed typing online. So then you can also just go for it. And then you have typingtest.com and so on and so forth. So just find the one that really suits your needs. I think either Speed Typing Online or 10fastfingers.com are the best options for you. And then how would you go about it, about improving your words per minute stats? So you need to engage in the so-called deliberate practice, which means that you really, for a specific amount of time, you just really focus on just developing that skill. And you have to do it over time. So the way I recommend you do it is that you just add one of these websites as a bookmark to your browser, so that it's always somewhere in your bookmarks bar, and you can just quickly just access it and just do maybe even 1 or 2 of these sessions per day. And you will see that you will, especially at the beginning, just experience really dramatic increases in your words per minute count. And you can also use a simple habits app, like Habits, for example, on your phone, that will just give you a gentle reminder every day, just a small notification saying, hey, how about you just jump into 10 fast fingers and you do like 2 or 3 sessions, right? So this is going to, since you are working with words per minute, you will be just doing this for 2 or 3 minutes, right? So it's not really a long period, but even with 2 or 3 minutes a day, you will already be able to really increase the amount of words you can write each minute. And then you will probably reach a plateau at some point. And then it really depends if you want to really take it to the next level or if you are already happy with the skill you have. But definitely the skill of speed typing and typing while not looking at your keyboard is hugely important for freelance writers. So please do your best to spend, let's say, a month where you do these kinds of tests every day, and you will see that by the end of this month, you will achieve a much higher words per minute count, and hence you will increase your productivity a lot, and you will be able to write many more words each hour, and in this way improve your productivity and boost your income. So I hope you have found this useful, and I will see you in the next module.